Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about power. I got the power. Power and productivity. What is that relationship like between power and productivity, and how do we begin to accrue sufficient amounts of power to power what we need to get done? So thanks for being here. If you are new, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com, see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. We also we have a very innovative narrative-based approach, because everyone's life is told a story. Historically, everyone's life is telling a story right now, and everyone's life will tell a story in the future. And we help people think through those particular time frames to really hopefully help them seek an aspirational future that their life will tell in terms of its personal story. So thanks for being here. For those of you who are new, you can, of course, you can also just become a subscriber here and get all these videos for free. I did say free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free, here at Michael Datcher's YouTube channel. For those of you, again, who are also new, though most people watch the show in reruns, rebroadcast, allow me to say a few words about myself. First, this is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. And that book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which just came out in October. That book was submitted for the Pulitzer Prize by my by Third World Press, my press for that particular book. That book, classic. That book interrogates the intersection of race violence in America and the American family. It looks at the identical twin sons set in the SAR, who are both twins and rivals, and a really powerful book. It's set 13 miles from Ferguson. I'm also the author of the spanking brand new book, which just came out this April, Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a Theory of American Literatures, which is a book about the intersection of activism and literature. What can literature teach us about modern day and real world activism? My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. Guys, I'm an expert at being productive, as well as being the board president of the World Stage, a great 501c3 nonprofit. I'm busy. I don't say these things to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity when they hear my crazy story. I am the product of a young girl who was violated at age 16 in a very difficult situation, gave birth to me at age 17, and then subsequently gave me up for adoption to an amazing single divorcee. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adoptive father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Modi famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, we are arguing that many people can, which inspires our show, because it's not where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So let's dive in. We're talking about power today. Point one is that you want to ascribe to have power. You want to plan to have power. You want to work to have power. Many people think that the acquisition of power, or that the pursuit of power, is a negative thing, because many people who've been so-called power hungry, or who have pursued power, have done bad things. But also, of course, many people who've pursued power have done many good things as well. And it is true that absolute power corrupts, if not absolutely, damn near absolutely. So there is certainly some wisdom that needs to be applied when pursuing power. At the same time, power gives you the power to resist the forces of fascism, resist the forces of Trumpism, resist the forces of racism. As an activist, almost all of my adult life, since I was 18, as an undergraduate, I have been involved in so many campaigns, rallies, organizations, you name it. And almost always the people trying to do good, trying to bring about a more equitable world, are almost always out-resourced by the other side. And, at times we've had more people power, and eventually what happens is that, people get burned out. I've done a lot of activists And, life happens. Family, children, responsibility, you get older, you get sick. I mean, so many activists burn out because so often we are going against the incredible tide um, of resources that are not in our direction. So, as part of my particular agenda as an entrepreneur and as a person interested in power and wealth creation is to help resource those organizations, those people who are looking to do good on the planet. Someone's got to make the money, right? And that job is me. That's my job. Although I still, of course, am very involved in activism and direct action activism as well. Um, there are different ways that we need to approach the problem, and it needs to always be multi-pronged, right? So right now, this phase of my activist life, I am focused on wealth creation that can be used to fund activist causes, so progressive causes. Point two, well, how do you get that? You know, um, that type of power. People talk about power being corrupt and corrupting, and yes, that can happen. But how do you balance that pursuit of power with uh, keeping a level head or a head that is not head and or heart that are not corrupt? As if you know the show, we talk a lot about doing the internal work, the internal infrastructure building. You gotta have a daily. You don't have to have it, but we encourage people to have a daily ritual. And you can create that yourself, as you know. If you know anything about world religions, most are full of ritual because ritual works. We argue that we can create our own rituals and apply them to our own lives and make that as a part of our lifestyle. We talk a lot about meditation, yoga, Pilates, running, praying, right? Working out, like making swimming, making that a part of your lifestyle that you may be able to build the internal mechanism to deal with the things that happen. Because when you're in this world, temptations are going to come, opportunities are going to come, and people wonder why you. I'm laughing because you hear about people selling out. Selling out. I recall when I was at undergrad at Berkeley. Uh, we knew a lot of activists because there were a lot of us there, and a few of the cats who were older had essentially in the vernacular sold out. And I would always think, how can this guy sell out, not this dude? And then once I became an adult, began to have kids, and some opportunities came my way, and one was worth literally $250,000. When you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you got a family, and someone basically offers you, $250,000. I mean, you may theoretically be like, no, I can't do that. But when you got a family to feed and issues and needs, it's not so easy. Now, but in that situation, I didn't take that money. I didn't do that thing, which is basically against my principles. But I thought about it, I did think about it, to keep it real, and that's a lot of money. What helped me to make the right decision, at least for me, was, it was the meditating, it was the yoga, all that. So my internal infrastructure was doing what it do. All right, which goes right into point three. Which gave me the power to do the right thing for me and my family ultimately, and which goes right into point three. And point three is that you can use power for good. We want to reframe the ideas around power. Power is good. Power gives you options. Power gives you the ability to make incredible change in your own life, incredible change in the life of your family, and especially incredible change in the life of your community. I've seen it so often. And I'm looking to build a cadre of individuals who know that to be true. So join me. Go to productivethroughjoy.com. Go to michaeldatcher.com. However, find me. Let's hook up. Let's do what we do. Accrue power to do good on the planet. It can be done. It will be done. Ashe. Y'all got me preaching. Hallelujah. Thanks for being here. Boom goes the dynamite. Until then, we will see you soon. Deuces.